Metroid Other M. I didn't even want to say anything about this, but you know me, I can't resist sometimes when a game is this fucking bad. I couldn't resist bitching about it on Twitter, and it was because I'd played it, but I didn't play all of it. And so I actually saw Sean Faust play all of it. Because I played it for like 2 hours, and I got so fed up with this fucking bullshit that it was so bad I quit. And but there's always one guy, whenever it comes to the big franchises like, Sonic, Mario, Mega Man, Metroid, Zelda, any of those five, no matter what I say, positive or negative, there's always at least one guy who emails me and says like, "Sir, I've been following you for 3 years, laughing at your shitty jokes, but this insult, sir, I will no longer tolerate. This is where you've crossed the line with me, you son of a bitch." And so, I bashed Other M, and of course the guy is he's like, "It only proves to me that you have no soul. You don't like anything, and I can no longer take you seriously as a reviewer, sir, because you are biased and foul and carouse in the proletariat zone with prostitutes, and you don't like anything." And this, of course, after I've made several videos telling you about stuff I've liked, not the least of which being The Last Exorcist, Scott Pilgrim. What was the last game I rented? I didn't like Madden. Okay, that was the last game I rented, but Persona 4. I like lots of stuff. That's the only thing that bothers me anymore is when people say I don't like anything, when half the time I'm talking about stuff I like. It's true, many of the more memorable reviews I do are the negative stuff, but you guys who say that I don't like anything, man, I like Pepsi. What was that? Metroid Other M. Okay. Here's where I will establish my credibility or lack thereof as a game critic, at least one qualified and biased to talk about Metroid, because everyone always likes to throw the word bias around like it's a bad thing. I'm biased about everything. It's impossible to be completely impartial. I'm not a fucking Vulcan. So, that's the other thing. It says I'm biased against Metroid. Now, it is true, I've never been a huge fan of the Metroid series, but I have never said the Metroid games were bad. Not ever. I've always said, whenever it comes to the Metroid games, I say I don't like the backtracking, I don't like this general style of gameplay, and it's too slow and methodical for my taste. I just don't like I don't like the setting, I don't like the character, I don't like any of it. But I'm not saying it's badly designed. I'm saying, honestly, I think it's a really good design. It's just not my style of gameplay. And so I've never given Metroid a bad rating. Never. But I usually recuse myself from reviewing these type of games because I played it and I was like, this is pretty entertaining, it's just not my style. So I know everyone's like, aha, he doesn't like Metroid, so he is not qualified to speak on it. I would disagree. Because once again, I can recognize good gameplay when I see it. And I do see it in Metroid. And in fact, that's pretty much all people care about. In fact, a lot of the people who said that I thought the storyline and the voice acting was bad, they're like, blah, 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 how's the gameplay? Because they skip all that shit anyway. And so, okay. So, I'll tell you in a minute. And I really haven't had a chance to formulate my thoughts fully on this matter. So bear with me. When it comes to the gameplay, it's okay. It barely works. It's not broken. It works. But it's not very good. In terms of sheer platforming, in terms of camera control, I never really had that big of a problem with the camera. Which is saying quite a lot, actually. When the camera's bad, I can bitch about it till the cows come home. When the camera's good, it almost never gets mentioned. The camera's good. It never feels like you're missing any of the action. What I don't like is the fact that the platforming, especially when you're doing wall jumping and springing here to there and stuff like that, it works. It's not great. You'll end up backtracking. You'll end up trying to do, you know what you have to do. Bounce, 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 bounce. Land on a platform. And you know how to do it, but 4 times out of 5 you'll fall and you have to do it again. You're like, So, it's okay. And also, this is, bar none, probably the best looking game on the Wii. In fact, I can't believe that they managed to crank that much gorgeousness out of the Wii, because the Wii as a platform basically sucks in terms of graphic processing power. It sucks a lot, which is why the Wii was starting to show its age when it launched. You know, like, it does not hold a candle to the PS3 and Xbox 360 in terms of graphic power, and it does here. I can't believe it. Which says to me that none of the developers on the Wii are fully utilizing the potential of the Wii hardware, because if that's what it's capable of, there's no reason that they should all look that bad. I don't know. So I will give it props where it's due. It controls okay, and it looks absolutely gorgeous, but that's where it ends. And the gameplay is way too short, even for a Metroid game. And in fact, I think that's kind of the point, is I remember people saying that it's made for speedruns because it's Team Ninja, and I can see that. And actually, that's why I think I can say that I'm qualified to judge this when I don't really enjoy the Metroid games as a whole, because this is really not very like other Metroid titles. It's not of that. It's not side-scrolling, and it's not really of the Metroid Prime kind of first-person shooting type thing. It's. I'm tempted to say it's kind of a combination of Ninja Gaiden, like Ninja Gaiden Black, and Metroid, where it has this really, at least it's awkward to me. I know a lot of people say, like, I didn't have a problem with this, but it switches between kind of the Ninja Gaiden movement in a three-dimensional space, and whenever you want to shoot missiles or fine-tune your targeting, you switch to a visored mode. And you do this by flipping the Wii remote to point at the screen like a gun. And like I said, it works, but I found I could never get used to it. And I guess if I were to play to the end, I would have gotten used to it, but I didn't like it. I guess that's the main thing, is, you know, when you introduce this mechanic to me, and I guess it does use the Wii hardware, and I can see people say, well, you would have complained if it didn't fully use the Wii hardware, but it just kind of falls in that area where I go, I see what you're trying to do, and it works, but I don't like it, you know. So, like I said, I'm tempted to say it's like Ninja Gaiden and combination of that and Metroid. And I guess if you're working that way, and I can see how that would definitely alienate hardcore Metroid fans. Believe me, to where you've kind of made it more of that speedrun type game. My complaint, and this is a big one, is that it probably has one of the worst, most overwrought, wrong-headed, poorly conceived, annoying, rambling, bullshit, moping, emo, self-doubting, codependent, fucking stupid characterization of Samus Aran. I think that I honestly don't think the series can survive the backlash from this game. If there's any justice, fans will protest, completely protest the plotting and the characterization of Samus in this game, because it's the most offensive characterization I've ever seen from a character that's not meant to be some kind of like exploitation or comedy goof on a character or a game. It's horrendously bad. It is catastrophically bad. Honestly, it has hopelessly damaged the franchise and the character. And again, some people said, like, I don't care about the character. Samus never had a character. Well, you know, she did a little bit. She never said anything. And I know, and besides that, I know in other games she had like log entries. She talked, but they were log entries. Don't nitpick with me, okay? Don't be that way. She had a character, and that character was basically a strong, silent bounty hunter. She was like, I'd hate to throw this, almost like Boba Fett. Okay, that's at least the persona she projected, was like Boba Fett. Where she's this helmeted, she's helmeted, she's badass, she's got a big fucking gun on her arm, and I guess that's people are saying is like, well, what else do you need? Like, how do you ruin that? They fucking ruined it. And I guess I'm almost never the guy to say, like, we need to make this series dumber. Like, I'll almost never be the guy who says, like, why are you throwing a story into this game? But I guess that's what I'm saying. Why are you throwing a story into this game? It's Metroid. Why are you giving Samus a character? It's Samus. She's supposed to be kind of a blank slate. She's supposed to be a faceless, helmeted bitch who shoots people with a handgun. Like, there's really not meant to be that much to this thing. You know, there's really not that much to Samus. And they have given Samus all the character you'd never want. Samus in this game goes from never saying a fucking word to never shutting the fuck up. Ever. It is abominably bad. Okay. It's... If you've played it, you know. You know my agony, but I will try to explain. Okay. And here, I will also shortcut any of the nitpicks right away, because I know people have actually read the manga. Because people have corrected me. They're like, well, that's how she acted in the manga. Oh, fucking manga. I don't care. I've never read the manga. I will never fucking care about the manga. This is where I really turn heel on the Metroid audience. If you've read the manga, fuck you, okay? Like, I don't care. Enjoy your manga. If you've read the manga, you are so hardcore into Metroid, you don't care what I'm saying about this game. You love it anyway, okay? So, why are you watching? If like, don't be butthurt that Spoony hated fucking Metroid. If you've got a manga collection of Metroid, you are so invested in that series, they could do you no wrong, okay? But anyway, I think that's the point people trying to make was like, oh, this game didn't damage Samus. The manga got there before and already butt-fucked the characters. So I'm like, I guess I can't argue with that. But I never read the manga. I played this game. Okay. Samus basically engages in 5 to 10 minute inner monologues that flashes back to her past. Her previous run-ins with Mother Brain and the Metroids and the Space Pirates and stuff like that. And now gives those thoughts voice about how scared she was when she was a younger and more naive bounty hunter, and how stupid she was and full of self-doubting and how many mistakes she made, and just going on and on. And so my comparison is not Ninja Gaiden and Metroid, it's Metal Gear Solid and Metroid. It really tries to combine the melodrama and the conspiracy and the overwrought romance talk and the all that, you know, that kind of intrigue plotting with Metal Gear Solid, and tries to throw it into Metroid. And that might have worked if... There's a very special reason why Metal Gear Solid worked, and that's because Hideo Kojima is a mad genius. Okay? He is so crazy and yet so good at what he does that he somehow manages to make it work. And I'll still tell you, half the time, even he does not save his own series like Raiden. Okay? So, like, I'm not saying that Hideo Kojima could do no wrong. I'm saying that if there was anybody who could have made this work, it was him, and half the time, even he can't make it work. You know what I'm saying? So they do this thing where Samus is this brooding, whining, moping character who always second guesses her own decisions, who always mopes, never shuts up about it, who is, I'm just going to say it, she's feminine and vulnerable and over-emotional and full of fear, and she freezes in the middle of combat. Like, she's so overcome with emotion and fear, she freezes, and actually she starts to like tremble and curl up inside, and you can actually see it. Like you can see her like panic and like, oh no, what do I do? And that is not Samus. Like, Samus is supposed to be the strong, independent, very strong, badass female character. The one that, like, the character that never makes you... It goes against the grain of women being the exact kind of woman she's portrayed as being here. You know, the woman that can kick ass, the woman that is a soldier, is a leader, is a badass bounty hunter that will fucking kill you with ninja moves and a gun on her arm. Like that, the woman who's supposed to be strong and kick ass, and she's not. She's so not in this game. In fact, they do everything they can in this game to tear that perception down. And it's so much to the detriment of the character and the series. She is completely unlike anything you'd expect Samus to be. And the last thing you want her to be is that kind of... that weak, fragile woman character. I don't know if they're trying to, like, give her some layer of depth, like, beneath that armor. She's really a delicate flower. It's just so wrong. Wrong in every regard. And what makes it worse is that she is so... It's almost like a Bella Swan-esque obsession with this guy, Adam. Adam is like her commanding officer, the guy she idolizes, who every decision, every success and failure that has plagued her past and her career, everything, she questions what Adam will think. She holds up every decision as to the hard decisions that Adam had to make. These life and death struggles. What would Adam do? I don't know, but I can't let Adam down. This fucking Adam guy is the guy that she just pines over endlessly. She's so in love with this guy. This dude, Adam. And we've never met... and I'm sure you'll correct me, we've never met fucking Adam before this point. I don't know. But, like, she never shuts up about this fucking Adam guy. And so, what kills me about this game is... In every Metroid game, there's this moment where she loses her powers, she loses all her guns and stuff like that, and she slowly has to reclaim them. And in fact, I think that's probably the worst part of the Metroid series, is they always have to find some contrived way to where she loses her powers. And so I just don't know why they can't say, like, oh, she ran out of ammo, or she upgraded to a new suit, but the suit doesn't have this stuff. I don't know. Like, it's really a weird thing where she finishes the game, she's got every weapon known to man, and the next game she can't have this stuff, of course. So in this game, here's how they do it. She gets sent on this mission, and Adam says, I can't authorize you to use these weapons and all your gadgets. So during the course of the game, she can only use these weapons when Adam tells her she can. The most badass bounty hunter in the galaxy, who saved the universe on multiple occasions, this frail, weak flower who has faced down galaxy-destroying odds on numerous occasions, who still freezes at the sight of anything. She listens to this guy because she worships the ground he walks on, and so she's like, okay, Adam, whatever you say, I won't use the weapons I need to survive. Like, she won't use her weapons unless fucking Adam tells her to. So she can't do anything unless a man tells her it's okay. Do you see what I'm talking about? So she's completely dependent on this Adam guy when she's getting shot at, getting torn apart by Metroids and these bugs and these mutants and these space pirates. And then Adam's like, I'm authorizing you to use the freeze beam, Samus. Fuck you. Fuck this guy. Fuck this game. You know, it's such a colossally bad decision. It makes Samus look like a complete idiot who will... I can't authorize you to use your weapons until the time is right. That doesn't make it... It's so artificial. It's so pointless. It's so fake. It makes her look like such a dweeb. Such a mooning idiot dork. And really, that's it. You know, like... the story has this. The game has this really horrible story just shoehorned into it, like 30 fucking hours of storyline crammed into like a 6-hour game, where it delves into her past with Ridley and Mother Brain and Metroids, and it tries to tie it all together in like this Metal Gear Solid type plot where there's this human conspiracy. The humans are trying to salvage the Metroids as weapons. They're trying to genetically engineer the Metroids so they don't have their freezing weakness. And that part, it's not horrible in itself, but it's really the characterization of Samus and the melodrama that takes place, where everyone is all full of doubt and fear and self-loathing and self-questioning and introspection. It's just so overwrought and cheesy, and it's so poorly acted. I don't know if there's anybody in the world who could have made this shit believable and acted it well, which is why I'm not really picking on the acting. It's bad, but I can't imagine, like, you could have had Anthony Hopkins reading this shit and it wouldn't have been any better. You know, if Anthony Hopkins was Adam, I don't think it would have been any better, honestly. So it's just full of these moments where, like, Samus talks. She's on an elevator, and she talks, and she talks, and she talks, and she talks, and she talks. And she talks about Adam, she talks about the Metroids, she talks about her fear, she talks about the planet she comes from, she talks about how the planet she comes from was destroyed and her parents are dead, and how Ridley killed them all, and how she hates Ridley, and how Adam would have killed her, and, like... This game just talks, and it never shuts up. And it just goes on forever. It's that bad. And it's one part of the game. You know, I admit it. Maybe you like the gameplay, maybe you don't have a problem with the control scheme. It's a rental. If you're interested at all in it, rent it. Really. And if you can't stand the story, it don't get any better. Believe me, it don't. This game, it really broke me. The story was so melodramatic and stupid. It's so full of so many moments where Samus freezes and cries and cringes in fear at the sight of a monster when she could just fucking shoot it. She freezes in terror so many times people get killed. You know, she's so weak and fragile, people get killed because of it. She does not strike you as the type to be this chick who saved the galaxy on countless occasions. That it's ruined the character. It really has hopelessly destroyed the character. If they continue with this way, they really better hope they retcon this game completely out of existence, like just obliterate it, because this game has done irreparable harm if it stays in continuity to the character. It's so bad. Rent it. Honestly, just if you think the gameplay is interesting, rent it, and you will curse yourself for $6 wasted. But at least you won't have bought it and cursed yourself for $60 wasted, because this game is so bad. It is horribly bad. And people are like, "Oh, it's worse than Final Fantasy 13." I'm not even sure if Final Fantasy 13 was this year. Probably was. It's worse than Deadliest Warrior. Yeah, it is. The story is so bad. The characterization is so offensive and terrible. And I'm not even invested in the Samus character, and I'm offended by it. I can't even imagine what it must feel like if you love the character, if you love the series, the raping that this character has done. They have raped Samus. Like, I don't like to throw that term around lightly. She is a rape victim. And Samus is the one character who should never be a victim of rape. You know, like, by definition, she is like the most badass bounty hunter in the galaxy. She should not be the one who has been raped at the end of this game, and she is. So... that's this game. Do not buy this game. It's worth... and, you know, I will actually throw Spike TV's own defense up in defense of Deadliest Warrior. Were this a budget title, I might not have cared. I might not have denounced this game as badly as I did. But Deadliest Warrior, you know what? $12. Xbox Live Arcade. What did you expect? Not much. I expected a lot more. I expected a lot better game and a lot better plotting from Metroid Other M. By the way, Other M, stupid title. Throwing that out there. Anyway, I'm going to get ready for PAX. I've been talking for about 2 hours now, probably. So, I feel a lot better when I woke up. Michael Clayton. I think that's the George Clooney. Oh, man. It's going to be a long day. So, I better get to it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll actually try to have this rendered on my laptop. I've never actually rendered anything on my laptop, so I'm going to try to pull this off, and see you guys at the show. Bye.